Hello everybody and welcome to my S Plus rank run of Radio Tower Artimes. Now, Radio Tower Artimes is actually a pretty different stage from the others, because this one takes place in the sky for the first part, but then in a fairly confined area for the second. Now, if you break open this here, you can get the first bonus emblem, and I recommend all the enemies here take down with the gun. Do not use EX weapons. You still get enough for it, but those enemies that are flying in the sky that shoot the missiles, if it breaks at all, the bigger one, whether it's an EX weapon, your flash field, or anywhere on the screen, it will split into smaller missiles that are pretty hard to destroy, even with Orbital Edge. And every time I've tried to do this without using the gun and using my EX weapons, I usually ended up getting hit, so it's just the safer option that still can lead to success. Now, if you don't have something like the Icarus wings for the overdrive ability, this stage is actually pretty helpful with keeping your bullets in check and staying in the air, because these platforms stay, once they open up, and also there's one below, I forgot what the bonus emblems, but anyway, if you go down, there will be 3 lines of trucks, and the last one will be holding the second bonus emblem. But as I was saying with these platforms, once you open them up, you'll be able to hover in them, and they'll recharge your bullets completely without having to land. But that completes the first part of the stage, so it's onward to the second part inside the radio tower. Now, the second part, like I said, is in a confined space, so you gotta be careful and keep an eye out. Now, I started using my EX weapons in here. There are still those enemies that can fire missiles, but because there's not so many of them that you can on-screen at the same time, it's easier to manage, so that way you can take them out before they can even get their missiles off. You just gotta be careful of the stage, and don't go in too quickly. If you see them, and like I did there, don't rush in. If you need to, take your time, and don't worry about it. If you try to rush too quickly and you're not sure, and you rush it, you're most likely going to get hit. Now, like with the Autofab plant, we do have another one of these siren rooms that spawn in a bunch of enemies. Like I said before, I recommend taking these on with your gun, because even though you don't get as big of a bonus from it, it is easier so that way you can get more points, and don't have to worry about taking out the siren with an EX weapon by accident. It is possible if you use specific EX weapons like Anchor Nexus or other ones such as Rising Cyclone or the Stellar Spark, but I just prefer to have Orbital Edge because it's the most accurate and one of the strongest in my opinion, which is why I stick with it. Now, once you get out of there, you're going to have to reset your combo, and try to be careful in these areas because there's a lot of enemies that are around that you need to be wary of. So, once again, just take your time, and you do have these platforms inside that'll recharge your bullets, so if you need that, use it as much as you can. You get about 3 to 4 minutes for a maximum time to get the biggest bonus, so you have time to take. So don't be afraid to just sit around for a few seconds. Now, I go into this little passage here because it does lead to something, but I keep when I went through the stage, I forgot that that doesn't have the bonus emblem unless you're playing this special mission, so I kind of forgot about that. Now, I did use my EX weapon without targeting enemies here, mostly because I did not want to get hit, and I needed to take out the enemies quickly before they were able to get a shot off. That's why I was taking them out with just using the regular weapon instead of targeting them one by one, just so that way I could make sure I didn't get hit and didn't risk anything. But now we're on to the boss, who is weak to the Rising Cyclone. With Rising Cyclone, you can disrupt her attacks and send them off screen unless you're fighting her EX boss form. But for the first part of the fight, she stays on the ground and only spawns in like a few things. But once she gets to the second fight, she'll use that little stage thing to fly on, once you get her down the first bit of health. But I do so much damage that she really can stay in it. So, once she's down to her final health, she'll use Wonderful Rush, but I stop her before she can even get that off. But if you target her and use Rising Cyclone and then sit around the platform right next to the very left of the screen and stay in there, you should be fine to dodge her attack as long as you pay attention with how it works. And you should be able to take her out even with regular attacks before she can get off the final bit, as long as you use it conservatively or use Darkness Trigger, what you should have at this point if you're going through the stage regularly. But that finishes off this stage, which wasn't exactly that hard. As long as you're careful and just take your time, because like I said, you have about 3 to 4 minutes to take down the stage. I did it in 3.5 and still got the bonus. So I believe the max is 4 minutes though, but I have not tested this, so please don't quote me on that. I'm just going by the times that I've gotten to get the highest rank. But I've gotten the S Plus with over 2 million points, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful if you need to get the highest rank in these stages, or just trying to do it just for the bragging rights, because honestly I don't know what it's for. But I do hope it was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later!